Assalamualaikum, my name is SYAZWANI binti AHMAD FAZI and my magic number is 8283482. Capital supplier or AHMAD, an entrepreneur called as Mudorib investment from a Mudorabah in Islamic finance. In this profit sharing agreement, the capital source gives the money and the entrepreneur provides skills and management to oversee the investment project. A Mudorabah contract gives the capital source money and the entrepreneur labor, knowledge and experience. The capital source is responsible for losses unless caused by the Mudorib's incompetence or wrongdoing by the two-party share investment project earning according to a predetermined ratio. Islamic banking and finance use the Mudorabah contract to ensure Sharia compliance investment. It lets people and institutions invest in accordance with Islamic value, which profit interest, and encourage risk sharing and moral investment. Business, industry, agriculture, and service use Mudorabah. It lets entrepreneurs get financing without interest. The Mudorabah contract lets investors work with skilled people and split profit from successful enterprise. Encourage entrepreneurship. The Mudorabah contract involves openness, good faith, and moral business behavior to comply with Islamic value. The money supplier must clearly describe the details why the Mudorib must serve the partnership. The Mudorabah contract requires investors to avoid alcohol, gambling, and other immoral business. Mudorabah also helps commercial enterprise and investment project with Islamic finance. Islamic finance supports risk and profit sharing and moral investment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL binti MAZLI and my number MAZLI is 8188421. Today I want to discuss in depth the version of feature of Mudorabah. There are two varieties of Mudorabah. There is Mutlaqah Mudorabah, unrestricted Mudorabah, and Muqayyad Mudorabah, restricted Mudorabah. The unrestricted Mudorabah is which is the Mudorib is free to manage the capital as he sees appropriate and can pursue endeavor so long as it results in a profit. Meanwhile, restricted Mudorabah is when Rakumal impose limitation on the participation of capital under specific conditions. Secondly, a type of investment contract called a Mudorabah allow to make a contracting parties. This Mudorabah is collaboration agreement between an entrepreneur by the name of Mudorib and a group of investors known as Rakumal. Third is Mudorabah administration. A Mudorib has the authority to oversee the Mudorabah venture, since they oversee making sure it is managed properly and represent the Rakumal interest. Next, capital also include in the component of Mudorabah. The capital is the asset that has been provided by a Rakumal to a Mudorib for the purpose of the Mudorabah venture. The capital of Mudorabah should be provided by the Rakumal and must managed by the Mudorib, and the capital also should be identifiable and accessible for the Mudorib to make common businesses activity. Lastly, profit and loss sharing is the key aspect of the Mudorabah contract because it is both the sharing and the driving force behind the agreement. A Mudorabah profit is the value that has been generated above and beyond the capital, and it will be calculated using a methodology that is acceptable by market norm and practices.
The first advantage is to avoid or prevent individuals from becoming predators of the conventional banking. As we all know, conventional banking has different frameworks for loans, financial assistance, savings, debt and so on. For example situation, if an entrepreneur wants to borrow but an unexpected difficulty happens in his or her business, a conventional bank will protect the interests of both investors and the bank. Compared to Mudorabah products by Islamic banking, they will share the same risk equally as the entrepreneur. Second is encouraging the growth of entrepreneurship. Mudorabah allows individuals or entrepreneurs who have expertise and skills in business activities to collaborate with the capital providers or investors. This will create opportunities for entrepreneurs or individuals needing more capital to start a business and subsequently have quality skills. It can also promote economic growth. The third is potential for higher returns. Mudorabah provides greater level of investment than just saving in a saving account or a conventional investment because financial Mudorabah and Musyarakah will deliver a higher level of investment like a new one. At the same time, if the business owner is successful, both parties will split the profit according to the agreed upon ratio. The disadvantage for Mudorabah is the challenge to assess the risk for the capital provider or investors. In some cases where entrepreneurs may not have sufficient incentives to protect the capital provider's interest, they may make inappropriate decisions and thus may take excessive risk or engage in unethical practices that will affect the capital provider's investment. If the entrepreneur is not carefully monitored or there are not enough checks and balances by the capital provider, then undesirable things can happen that affect the capital provider's investment. Second is the lack of control over the business for capital providers or investors. They have limited rights over business operations and making decisions about the business the entrepreneur runs. This weakness is clearly seen to the extent that it causes certain risks that capital provider do not desire. The risk is found in budget data, financial reports and so on. This weakness can also cause significant losses and risks in this segment. Last but not least, the disadvantage is the limited use of mudarabah. Mudarabah is suitable for equity-based investments and may not be suitable for certain types of business sector. Using mudarabah is business with fixed asset such as real estate may be quite challenging. An alternative Islamic financing contract that may be appropriate to use is ijarah or murabahah.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm ATHIRAH binti ABDULLAH and my matric number is A21A2707. So today I would like to present about comparison between conventional and Islamic mudarabah. According to the statement, the first point is about profit and loss sharing. Based on the conventional mudarabah, the parties agree on how profit and losses will be shared. While Islamic mudarabah, profit are distributed based on the agreed upon ratio and various depending on the contract. The second point is restrictions and ethical considerations. In conventional mudarabah, it operates within the context of regular banking and finance, which may include interest-based transactions and activities that are unethical from an Islamic perspective. During Islamic mudarabah, say, it strictly adheres to Sharia principles, avoiding interest-based transactions, which is riba, and judging the prohibited haram activities in Islam. The next point is monitoring and control, also the key of comparison between conventional and Islamic mudarabah. In conventional mudarabah, in most cases, the financial has limited impact and engagement in the firm day-to-day operations and management. In Islamic mudarabah, it still guarantees that Islamic standards are respected. The financial has the authority to supervise and monitor the mudarib's operations. Capital guarantee is the common last key in comparison between conventional and Islamic mudarabah. In Islamic mudarabah, the financial cash is also at risk, and if the firm fails, they may suffer financial losses, while in conventional mudarabah, the capital of the financial is not guaranteed and may be vulnerable to losses.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is MOHD from RONZI. My matric number is A21A3114. I will explain it about the conclusion. First, mudarabah is contract between Al-Mal, which is a capital provider, and mudarib, which is an entrepreneur, with the Al-Mal providing the capital and mudarib acting as entrepreneur. Mudarib manage the funds or investment purpose. Next, unrestricted mudarabah is contract which the Rabbul Mal give the mudarib unrestricted ownership of capital. Unrestricted mudarabah called mudarabah mutlaqah, while restricted mudarabah called mudarabah muqayyadah. Next, mudarabah has a various advantage and disadvantage. First, mudarabah ideas was intended to counter the parasitic or predatory features of the traditional banking model. The higher model of mudarabah is investment and income distribution. The disadvantage mudarabah, distinction between conventional and Islamic mudarabah. Next, mudarabah arrangement that can be made between Islamic banks as a fund supervisor on their behalf or on behalf of investment account holders and other businessmen and artisans such as farmers, traders, and so on. It will have impact on Islamic finance and banking system. Mudarabah is also a Sharia compliant investment because it does not require collateral or any also a Sharia compliant investment because it does not require collateral or any form of down payment.